It's April. We're good. Let me get the date here. 25th. Okay, here we go. Good evening. Welcome to the April 25th Board of Works meeting. Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On to the roll call of members. All members are present. All right. And then on to approval of minutes. We have a couple to go back to approve. Jane, you and I need to approve the minutes from March 28th, so I'd accept a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes from the March 28th meeting.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Minutes from the 28th are approved. And Bill, we have to approve the minutes from April 11th. So, motion. Accept.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes for April the 11th.
And I second that. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Minutes are approved. On to the department reports. And I shifted around a little bit to give some people to go first that don't always. So, Chief Wormuth, you're up first.
Not used to going first. So
I know I mixed up the order on
yeah, keep me on my toes. During the period between 4/11/2016 and today's date of 4/25, the Lebanon Police Department responded to 848 calls for service. A total of 25 citizens were arrested for the following crimes. Crimes related to drugs, we had 12 arrests. This is made in conjunction with the Drug Task Force operation they did. These 12 are dealers. So, I commend Detective Eric Adams and the Drug Task Force for their work. That is 12 dealers they're taking off our streets. For operating while intoxicated, we had 4 arrests. Driving while suspended, we had 3. We had 5 wanted on warrants and 1 for domestic battery. On the 15th of this month, we hosted a promotion, retirement, and recognition ceremony. The event was attended by nearly 100 friends and family. We had 3 promotions. Ted Bowling was promoted to sergeant, Rich Mount was promoted to lieutenant, and Jim Miller was promoted to captain. Our own Mayor Gentry was there to swear in our newest officer, Aaron Carlson, and 7 officers were recognized with life-saving commendation bars for their recent Narcan saves. We also had the opportunity to officially retire and thank Chief Sam Myers for his 27 years of dedicated service. We issued him a retiree badge with his unit number on it. His duty pistol was officially retired, and per tradition, we gave him his pistol. And we also had taken the flag down that flew over his building during his administration, had it cleaned, folded, and bought a nice case with it. So we got to present him with his flag. It was got a lot of good comments about it. It's something we've enjoyed doing. We were honored to have several retired officers and several council members present. On the 22nd of this month, Officer T.J. Nelson attended training on drug investigations. And also during that week, Officer Rob Watson, Taylor Nilsson, and James Cudens all attended and graduated from crisis intervention training. Crisis intervention training is emergency psychological techniques used by first responders. These are skills used in dealing with emotional, mental subjects, those with addiction issues, and suicidal subjects, and those suffering from traumatic incidents. The training not only teaches officers how to approach and talk with subjects, but also teaches them how to get the help that these people so desperately need. I hope to rotate all the department through that training in the next few years. And this Saturday, Major Bailey and myself and Officer Justin Knox all assisted with the 5K superhero run for Child Advocacy Center. We had over 200 participants, raised a lot of good money, and yes, I was present there in my Batman cape and mask, so always be Batman was my saying. And also on that evening, we had a surprise visit, I would say, from presidential candidate Senator Ted Cruz. We probably had 500 or more people there. Along with the sheriff's department, we set up traffic details and security. He has no Secret Service. He just has 2 retired Secret Service agents. So we supplemented the security, and I'm proud of the Boone County residents. We had no protesters. We had no hecklers. We had no incidents. The crowd was enthusiastic, but very, very well behaved. And I think that's just a testament to our rural background, and we learned manners as children. So nothing else to report.
Thank you, Chief. I really appreciate you guys handling that surprise visit on pretty short notice, and you guys did a great job and kept everything running smoothly, so we appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
I would like to just second that. I was there, and Boone County can be very proud of all of our law enforcement, everyone, all of our citizens. It was just a great experience altogether.
It
But
was.
thank you.
Thank you.
I think everybody enjoyed it.
One question for you, Chief.
I'm sorry?
One question for you.
Yes.
Do you know the dealers we took off the streets? Do you know kind of what they had with them, kind of what they were selling, unfortunately?
Marijuana and heroin and meth, I believe.
Okay,
I
big
haven't
three.
had a chance to speak with Detective Adams yet, but they had been watched for a while. This is something, they were across the street from each other. They took several dealers down that were simply across the street, and they took them down we supplied them with several officers, and they had a simultaneous raid on both places.
Great. Well,
So-
great job getting them off the streets.
Thank you.
What side of the town were they on?
The south side.
South side?
Thank you, Chief.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board?
No, thank you.
Any questions from the public? You have
Yes,
a
ma'am. Well, thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, on to the fire department. Chief Batts.
Good evening, everyone. I hate to break it to Chief Wormuth, but I'm Batman. So- Since the last Board of Works meeting, Lebanon Fire has made 131 emergency calls of service. We have logged 114 hours of training, and that number is actually inaccurate because of FDIC. Several of our trainings that we attended during the Fire Department Instructors Conference have not been logged yet, so the number is actually a lot larger than that.
And my hour's not included in that, correct?
Yeah, we put you in, Mayor.
Oh, you counted it? Okay.
We also performed 31 commercial inspections, participated in one public education event, and we installed 12 car seats. These car seats also include the car seats that were installed in the free clinic last weekend. The two FDIC classes that we hosted were a huge success. Over 240 firefighters from across the United States visited and used our training tower, our classrooms. It was just a great experience having all these different firefighters into the community. It's a great experience for everyone. Today, Lebanon Fire participated in a field training exercise for Project Lifesaver. Project Lifesaver is a tracking system to locate community members that have special needs. If anyone would like more information on Project Lifesaver, you can call Station 11 at 765-482-8832. This coming Friday and Saturday, we will be hosting the Hoosier Emergency Response Olympics, also known as the Hero Competition. Over 110 high school students from across Indiana and Kentucky will be visiting our city. These students will be tested drills, and they will compete in firefighting hands-on skills. The event starts Friday night and will continue through Saturday afternoon. This is just a great event, bringing the high school students in. Once again, we're using our training facility behind the sheriff's office. Just a large number of family members follow these students to these competitions, and it's a really great atmosphere. We found out last week that our 9/11 Memorial Project has been picked as an Indiana Bicentennial Legacy Project, and I also attached a copy of that with the Board of Works minutes from Lebanon Fire that you can review that. That's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions from the board?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Questions from the public? Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Yep.
Parks Department, John Messenger.
Good evening. This past Saturday was very busy, as Chief Wormuth echoing that. He didn't tell you he was dressed as Batman earlier in the day. We had the Boone County Children's Advocacy Center. They had their superhero walk, or 5K at Memorial Park. I think around 200 people participated. Great event, but it's nice to have Deputy Chief Bailey, Chief Wormuth, and Justin Knox all out there. I think there was a couple more helping us with traffic. We also had a doubleheader, a JV doubleheader, so traffic in and out. It was really nice to have those guys out there directing traffic and keeping everybody safe, and that was really good. It was a great event. That's their second event out at the park. As I said, almost 200 people were out there participating. and he was Batman, just like Chief said. The Big Four Trail, another shout out there, also with Planning Department and Street Department, the parks, well worked, and I think Derek and Larry will probably talk about that later. Nice group effort, nice all the departments working together. Really helpful when we all work and achieve a big goal like that. We have a event coming up Saturday, May 28th, or what is it? I believe it is. No, the trail Saturday, April 30th at the trailhead there next to Menards. Anyway, that'll be nice event there, and I think Derek will talk more about that later. Our first Mother's Day event called Cupcakes and Canvas will be Saturday, May 7th at 11 a.m. There'll be canvas painting class and light refreshments. Costs $20. We still have some openings there. It's filling up fast, so if you can, get out there and get registered. We also want to thank Western Boone FFA Group and members from the Lebanon Middle School. Last week, Earth Day, we had quite a few volunteers, I think about 50, out there picking up and helping us do a couple projects in the park, and we greatly appreciate it. Along with last Saturday, too, we had a lot of prom pictures out there. I am sure everybody noticed all the pretty prom pictures, and the park looked good for it, so that's nice. We had a lot of dogwoods blooming now. The crabs are blooming now, and redbuds, so nice backdrops for all those beautiful kids out there, and I think it was all safe, and don't know how the police department took care of all that, but that was a great job they did. It's almost time for the pool to open. We're about a month away, so we've started working on it. Hopefully we'll be able to open Memorial Weekend, May 28th. It takes about 3 weeks. We have a lot of tests that have to go out to the health department and get approved by the state, and hopefully we'll have that all done. Also, adult co-ed is right around the corner too. We have 9 teams. Sure would like to know and make that even 10. I think Mr. Shine knows it's always nice even numbers on those softball rosters. Anyway, we have 1 more week where they can sign up, and we'll start those games May 15th. And that's all I had.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board?
Thank you.
From the public? Okay. Next up, Planning Department, Derek Warren.
Good evening. I'll start my report off tonight with an update from the Plan Commission meeting that was held on April 18th. Meadow Wing subdivision received secondary plat approval at that meeting for Section 3C. Meadow Wings is the condo development on the north side of 250, just west of the church there. They received, on Section 3C is 12 two-condo lots, so there'll be 24, they're classified as single-family structures, and 1 single condo lot. So Bob Lieberman, the owner of that subdivision, is already pulling building permits for that section, so he's continuing to move on strong there. As to echo what John said about the Farm Heritage Trail parking lot, over the past
Derek,
few weeks.
What's the trail name?
Sorry, Big Four Trail.
There you go.
Still getting used to the name change. Thank you for the correction there. Formerly known as the Farm Heritage Trail, the Big Four Trail. Parking lot improvements over the past few weeks at the trailhead there on Sam Ralston Road have been outstanding. A big thanks to the Street Department, Parks Department, and also Triangle Asphalt for all working together. This was something that we all just kind of got together, put our heads together, and figured out what the best plan was. The final layout is great and was accomplished on a shoestring budget of $11,325 plus a couple days labor from the Parks Department and Street Department. There are now 15 lined parking spots and 1 disabled spot in that area out there. In addition, mile marker, trail rules, and trail map signs have been installed on the portion of the trail owned by the City of Lebanon. The Farm Heritage Big Four Trail extension request for proposals was released a few weeks ago. And tomorrow at 2 p.m. in the council chambers, we're hosting a pre-submittal meeting for engineers that received the request sent out on behalf of the Active Living Committee for engineering of an extension for the Big Four Trail. We have requested proposals for an engineering document that will plan an extension of an off-street trail on Main Street from Patterson in Maine through downtown to southeast in Maine. And something that developed late today, which I will bring more information to the next meeting on, is a sidewalk cost share program that we're putting together the final deals on. So everything is basically in place. We'll have the plan put together by the next Board of Works meetings, and I'll talk to you in detail about that. That's all I have.
Thank you, Derek. Questions from the board?
Thank you.
Questions from the public? Okay, thank you, Derek. Larry Lee, Street Department.
Thank you, Mayor. Board of Works. I won't mention too much of the trails since everybody else is done, but I believe there are 17 stalls, Derek. Just a couple of old things here to bring up, Mayor. Our annual spring cleanup is this weekend. Anticipating to be very busy. It'll be from the 29th and 30th from 7 to 4 both days. So residents will need to bring their driver's license, utility bill, proof of residence so they can get in and load their trash there at the street department. Also on the 30th, the Boone County Solid Waste will be having their hazardous waste day, and you can bring the waste out there at the Boone County Highway Department. And there'll be a couple articles here in this paper in the Reporter this week. A couple new things here. The street department has started some pavement along with some ceiling work with Chris Oakes, and then also Triangle Asphalt. I got with the mayor. We started working on the southeast corridor today, and we're going to be starting to work on the northeast corridor for right now. And it started out being a pretty good day today. Another thing that's coming up, our city auction will be May 3rd at the Lebanon Street Department.
Larry,
Yes,
it's May the 12th.
May the 12th now?
Well,
Okay.
yeah,
I had on my notes May 3rd, or I'm sorry.
no,
So May 12th, okay. Thank you.
it's a Thursday.
All right, thank you. Correction on that, Mayor. I am going to ask the board if we can surplus a Ford dump truck.
We'll do that under new business.
Oh, okay, you can do that, okay. The last thing I have is the 11th Street Department. We'll be taking applications for a couple of laborers at the street department. We've had one person transfer and we're short one person. They will need a Class B CDL driver's license, high school diploma or GED, snowplow experience, and some mechanical experience. That will help them along with their application. So they can actually get the applications through the website and drop them off at the 11th Street Department with their resume.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Question from the board? Question from the public? Okay,
Thank you.
Larry. And communications, Joe LePage.
Greetings, everyone. I'd like to start with an update on Lebanon City Market. On the 1st of April, we had our first Friday, and it was cold and it was windy, but it was fantastic. We had 12 vendors. We had more than 100 people. All of our vendors sold something during the course of the evening, and so things are moving forward for our first Friday for May 6th. And so far, we have 18 vendors confirmed to be there. We have a fitness class signed up the YMCA is going to put on. We have a presentation by the Talent Factory. We have free face painting and free popcorn giveaways for families. We have live music going to go on. Jonas, the piano man, Miller will be there performing live. And so I expect us to have more than 18 before we get things going on May 6th. But some exciting things happening with Lebanon City Market, and that's going to even increase even more once the produce starts popping up out of the ground. We'll have a lot of greenhouse produce items, but a lot of baked goods as well, and a lot of refurbished, whether local or regionally refurbished goods. And so Lebanon City Market continues to grow, expand, and that's coming up on May 6th, Friday, May 6th from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. Also in the works, the Mel Kenyon Classic, Lebanon Area Boys and Girls Club Food Truck Fest continues its planning stages. We met just before the Board of Works meeting to talk about different promotional sponsorship packages for that event. The race, as of right now, is planned for downtown, filled with family fun, live racing, beer tent, live music, and a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club. Also, we are submitting our paperwork to NDOT to have US 39 shut down for that race temporarily. And so that's all going along as planned. Very confident that will happen. Our musical acts have been firmed up. Lebanon graduate and award winner Lucas DeBard will be kicking things off, and Craig Terrell will be following him after that. And then backed by popular demand, Corey Cox is going to be playing again. He plays at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the race they have there, the Indianapolis 500. Then he'll be up here playing in Lebanon. He's been opening up for Blake Shelton in this season. Last year he was opening up for Toby Keith. Right now we're in need of volunteers for that race. You can volunteer to be on the racetrack itself as long as you're 18 or older to actually help out with the race and its festivities. Thankfully this year we're not asking for volunteers to put up the track or take it down. We have a select group of volunteers that are going to be doing that. But also you can volunteer to be part of the food truck event as well. There's going to be family fun and a way to help out the Boys and Girls Club. And so that's what our downtown organization wants to do, is to run alongside area organizations and kind of help them do what they do. And so send an email to heartoflebanon@outlook.com looking for volunteers, and we'll put you to work as much or as little as you like. So that's pretty open-ended invitation there. And finally, OCRA, the Office of Community and Rural Affairs, has rolled out a new downtown beautification for historic buildings grant. And so we're in the process of reaching out to building owners downtown. And it was in February of this year that we celebrated the Heart of Lebanon being designated as an Indiana Main Street officially. We're eligible for this grant because we are an Indiana Main Street participant. And again, reaching out to those local business owners, or the building owners rather, to improve the outside of their buildings. And so whether they need a new look, some new windows, some tuck pointing, just addressing any needs they may have as historic buildings, we encourage those building owners to reach out to me, and we'd be happy to help get that process going. And my email address is joe.lepage, Lepage, @cityoflebanon.org. And we'll hopefully work together in the effort to revitalize our downtown.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions from the board?
No, thank you.
Okay. Questions from the public? Okay. With that, let's move on. I didn't put Mike Whitman from the Utilities on the agenda tonight because we will be giving the State of the Utilities this evening at the City Council meeting, so feel free to stick around for what should be a great presentation. On to old business. Is there any old business to come before the council or before the board? No? Okay. With that, new business. Larry, you want to come back up and we can declare your truck surplus for you?
Yes, sir.
So you want to explain exactly what we're declaring surplus?
On the auction, city auction? It's our annual city auction through the city. Bicycles and a few other things, and a lot of items from the other departments. It'll be held at the street department May 12th at 6 o'clock. Thank you, Tanya. And we're only getting rid of one piece of equipment, and it's an old dump truck. It's a Ford dump truck with a plow and a salter will go along with that. I cannot tell you the miles because it was broken, so. Now, it's a good truck.
Okay, good truck, broken odometer, right? So, okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion from the board.
I'll make a motion that we can declare the dump truck surplus.
We have a motion
I'll second the
and
motion.
a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Your truck has been declared, with the broken odometer, has been declared surplus.
Thank you. Come on out with a lot of money.
All right. Thanks, Larry. And Joe, do you want to come back up and explain where exactly we're doing the street closure for this week, for this month, for the city market?
Back again. I have a map to show you. Looking at our closure. Have mercy, I'm going to need to zoom in a little bit. So you're looking at Main and Meridian, where we have our farmers market set up. You can see the pocket park here that got 5 new benches, which are great to be able to hang out and watch the world go by. What we were asking for the first Friday, and what we're asking for again today, just up to the alley on Main Street. That we leave space for 20 vendors. Like I mentioned earlier, we have 18 confirmed that are going to be there. So we're in need of long-term planning for growing our downtown market. And so in talking with the First Presbyterian Church, they have some concerns about their daycare, which lets out about then. So not, if you would, disregard this portion of the map along Main Street. But we would request that we use the parking lot here to the south as vendor parking. What we'd like to have our folks do, the barricade would be here, and our vendors would enter in on Main Street, be able to set up their booth space, their 10 by 10 spaces, and then pull our cars here and leave them off the main road, leaving space for our patrons and those folks to park along the streets to be able to shop at all the vendor spaces. And then once the evening's over at 8 p.m., they'd be able to literally pull out, load up their goods that they didn't sell, and then be on their merry way. But I'm requesting that this be closed just to the alley once again. But then looking long term, once we get to June and July, when the produce is really going, we're going to have to look at a way to expand our market, because we have, like I said, we have 50 vendors that have expressed interest in vending at our market. And so it's a growing pain that is great, but at the same time, we're going to need to think about long-term solution here.
Have we had some discussions with the church of how do we handle the traffic out of there if there's a...
We've had initial discussions. They currently do pickup right about here. Working with them to maybe do pickup at a different door along would be East Street here, or something along those lines where we can work in a partnership level to help make it happen and make it beneficial for them and the market. Just wanted to show that picture of how things will grow quickly with our market. But again, gonna set up live music here. Our point of sale will be here. The YMCA and Talent Factory will perform here. We'll have a coffee house that'll be coming in and being on the south side here, and then the free popcorn will be on that south side also. But requesting that closure there for the alley.
So that's a city lot as well too, right? For the parking, there's no, that's a city-owned lot,
It is.
right? Okay. So with that, I'm sorry, one more question too. So what happens if we get 3 more vendors, right? If we're at 18, we get 3 more. Now we're 21.
My solution for this market alone is to put them on the sidewalk and have them there. On the corner there is Sherry Cottage, which is a new business, and they plan to have goods out on their sidewalk, and so that would serve as a vendor space, and so we'd be able to have some more vendor spaces beside them. But again, that's probably not a sustainable solution as we get more than 20. But if we get more than 20 for this upcoming market, then we would make do.
Okay.
But then as we move forward, we'd need to
figure out something long-term
Yeah,
with the church.
yeah.
Okay.
We'd ask for that closure to happen at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. on Friday, May 6th, so the vendors can start to come in and we can get everything lined up. We can get our point of sale, which we're still accepting SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program cards at that point of sale.
And WIC, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And WIC and senior vouchers as well.
Okay. So with that, I would entertain a motion to close Main Street from Meridian to the alley before East Street, and as well as the city lot there,
I make a motion for the closure,
starting at 2 p.m.
starting at 2 p.m. on May the 6th.
Okay, we have a motion.
I second that.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. All right, looking forward to the market on May 6th.
It'll be a blast.
4 to 8 p.m., correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Joe. Okay, with that, is there any other new business coming before the board? Then move on to claims.
I make a motion we pay the claims.
We have a motion to pay the claims.
I second the motion. to pay
Motion
the
and a
claims.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Claims are approved. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much. The city council meeting will begin shortly.